Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we are doing a single digit multiplication up to 100 pounds sheet 1 walkthrough video. This, of course, is from Math-Salamanders.com. Make sure to check out the link in the description below. Math-Salamanders has some of my favorite resources for any type of math worksheet, so make sure to check them out. I also have a playlist for all of their videos, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So we're going to go ahead and start with number 1. Let's give a little context to the problem. So we have an amount, okay? So this is 43.71 pounds, okay, currency from England, and it's times 3. So what's the situation where we would have that times 3? Well, let's say we go to the store and we see something with this price, and we want 3 of them. This would give us the total price. So it's actually a pretty useful concept. So let's go ahead and walk through how do we do it. Well, the first thing we do, all of these are single digit, so we don't really have to worry about too much difficulty with single digit. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take turns multiplying this 3 by each one of these digits in the top. So we're just going to go ahead and start. And let me show you how this works. So we do 1 times 3, and that gives us 3. Okay, we're done with this one. Now we're moving on to the next one. I'm actually going to highlight it. So we're done with the first digit. Now we're going to move on to the 7. So we're going to do 3 times 7, and that's 21. But I'm not going to just write 21 there, because technically that would represent 210, which is not what I want. So I'm going to have to do some carrying. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to drop down this the ones place right here, so that 21, okay, but I'm missing the 20, the 2, so I'm going to put it over the next digit. So now I'm moving on to the 3. I'm done multiplying by the 7. And now I do 3 times 3. I'm going to kind of forget about the 2 for now. I'm just going to go ahead and do my 3 times 3. And I know that's 9. But I'm not going to write 9 yet. Okay, so I'm going to keep 9 in mind. But then I have this plus 2 up there. Okay, anytime it's above the line, we're going to add that number. So I have 9 plus 2. I'm going to write this down, 11. But again, you can't write down the whole 11. You can only write down the ones place. Let me clean this up a second. I'm going to leave the 2. Most of the time, you're going to leave that 2 up there. I'm only going to write down the ones place. Again, I'm going to line it up underneath the number I multiplied by. So again, let's just, so you can see the 7, 1, okay? You can see that I'm lining up everything. So it's not all cramped up like over here, okay? Right underneath. And now I'm multiplying the 3 times the 4. But hold on, I forgot to carry that 1 from the 11, okay? This one and this one make 11. So now I have 3 times 4, and I know that's 12, but again, up here is that plus 1, so that's 13. Now that I'm at the end, I can write the whole 13. Okay, so once you get to the end, you can write the whole 13. I'm going to make sure this 3 is lined up underneath this 4, and I'm almost done. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to be 13,113 pounds. Okay, that's just ridiculous. That's be way too much money to spend on 3 items that cost about 43 pounds each. Instead, I'm going to move the decimal place now. Okay, so let me clean this up. I'm going to move the decimal place. How does this work? Well, normally the decimal places, so if we had the number of 4,371, normally the decimal place is at the end. So I'm going to count how many times total is the decimal place moved over. So I have 1, 2. It's been moved over twice. Okay, so that means at the end, I'm going to move the decimal over twice. 1, 2, I'm going to plop down the decimal right there. So there's my decimal. That's a big highlight. There's my decimal. I'm going to erase this stuff. You can always rewind. And this is my final answer. 131 and 13 pence. Okay, so 131 pounds and 13 pence. That's going to be my final answer. Okay, now I'm just want to quick note, this isn't this problem, but let's say that this was 0.3 instead of just 3. So how would that change the problem? Well, we would count over this 1, 2, but we'd also need to count this one right here. So in total, that would be 3. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, and instead we put the decimal over here to make it an even smaller number. Okay, that's if we have the decimal in 2 places. Okay, 1, 2, 3 total, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but that's not the case here. I just want to give you a heads up that it's really not that bad once we have multiple decimals instead of just 1. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3. I'm going to jump to this one because it's a 2, pretty easy. So we're going to have 2 items valued at around 71 pounds. And we're going to go ahead and do this. 2s are pretty easy. I like these ones. So you do 6 times 2, and that's 12. Okay, I'm doing the same process here, multiplying this by everything, just as a recap. And I know that's 12, okay? But I need to carry that 1 there. So now I have 2 times 4, that's 8, and I need to add that 9, or add that 1 to make it 9. I have nothing to carry because I'm under 10 there. 2 times 1 is 2. And then I have 2 times 7, and that is 14. Let me move this over. I want to make sure I'm right underneath these. And then 2 times 7 is 14. I have nothing to drop it over for carrying, so I'm just going to plop this guy down, and that makes it 14. So my answer here is 140. Oh, no, that's way too big. Okay, I caught myself, as you should do. And notice that it's too big if I'm multiplying by 71. So I'm going to count this over, and it's 1, 2, and I'm going to count this guy over 1, 2. And I plop them right there. So 142 and 92 pence. That's going to be my answer for number 3. Moving on to our final one, okay? And again, if you have more questions, you're like, whoa, you didn't cover a question that I was looking for, don't worry about it, okay? Leave a comment. I'll give you an answer. So no worries. If I didn't cover the question, I can help you there, and so can Math-Salamanders.com. So I wanted to cover this one because this is the biggest number we have on here, or close to it. This is close to 75 pounds, and we're multiplying it by 3. 3 items valued at that. What's the total? So we're going to, again, multiply all of these together, okay? And we're going to start with the 3. So 3 times 2 is 6. We have 3 times 3 is 9. Just drop it right underneath. 3 times 5 is 15. I need to carry the 1 because it's a double-digit number. Then I have 3 times 7 is 21, plus that 1 is 22. I can't forget that I have a decimal, so I need to count over 1, 2. 1, 2 over from the beginning, and there's my decimal place. And my answer is 225 and 96 pence. Okay, 225 pounds, 96 pence. So that's all there is to it. Let me know if you have any questions, like I said, in a comment. If you have any other questions on any other Math-Salamanders worksheet, make sure to check out my Math-Salamanders playlist. And I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Wes Explains Best.